Good evening. It's Thursday, April 15, 2021 here in Cebu City. I'm Cherry Ann Lim and this is SunStar Tonight. Two flyovers and one underpass are being proposed for construction in Cebu City. A hearing has been held with property owners who may be affected by the projects. The infrastructure projects will be constructed along Osmeña Boulevard, corner Natalio Bacalso Avenue, and P. Del Rosario Street and Leon Quilat Streets, as well as on N. Bacalso Avenue, corner Virama Avenue. The underpass will be constructed at the South Road properties in Mambaling. The flyover, which is set to be constructed along P. Del Rosario Street from the junction of Osmeña Boulevard to Leon Quilat Street, will be 1.1 kilometers long, while the flyover along N. Bacalso Avenue, corner Virama Avenue, will be 1.2 kilometers long. The left-turning underpass along the SRP in Mambaling will be 915 meters. The proposed projects are now on their Detailed Engineering Design or DED. The DED, which has a budget of 105 million pesos, is set to be completed in August. The Department of Public Works and Highways says only a few properties will be affected once the construction begins, since there is already an existing road right-of-way. Another 30 nurses from Central Visayas will be sent to the National Capital Region Plus tomorrow to reinforce the medical workforce there in its fight against COVID-19. The additional nurses are on top of the 15 medical workers from Cebu who were sent to the NCR last week. Kenneth Torres reports.
30 more nurses in Central Visayas are set to leave the region for the Metro Manila tomorrow, April 16, to reinforce the medical workforce in the NCR Plus area's COVID-19 response. This is on top of the 50 medical frontliners in Cebu who were already sent to NCR Plus last week. The additional 30 nurses are bound for Manila at 5 p.m. tomorrow. DOH Central Visayas spokesperson Dr. Mary Jean Luriche said that of the 30 nurses, 7 are from the Nurse Deployment Program, 2 from Barili, 3 from Cebu City, 1 each from Carmen, Pinamungahan, and Danao, 1 from Bohol, and others are from the Temporary Treatment Monitoring Centers. Luriche said the nurses from TTMC expressed willingness to be pulled out from isolation centers and quarantine facilities, considering that the COVID-19 situation in the region is stable. The DOH urged the public to not create any issues pertaining to forcing the medical workers to serve and work for NCR Plus without their consent. Kenneth Torres, SunStar Tonight.
The Land Transportation, Franchising and Regulatory Board in Central Visayas is set to give free rides again to authorized persons outside of residents and healthcare workers in Cebu. LTFRB Central Visayas Director Eduardo Montealto Jr. said they are now in talks with several operators of public utility buses, modern public utility jeepneys, and even tourist buses to participate in the program. Montealto said they are initially eyeing to deploy at least 56 units of combined public utility buses and modern jeepneys for Cebu alone. This number, however, may be adjusted depending on the number of tourist buses they can get for the program. The LTFRB said there is no definite date yet on when they can start to implement the program that is initially seen to last until June this year, depending on the COVID-19 situation in the country. The LTFRB is still finalizing the routes of the service vehicles, but these will surely cover the 19 hospitals in Cebu. The buses will be given 82 pesos as incentive per kilometer that they will cover under the service. A total of 30% of the incentive will be given to the driver, while 70% will go to the operator. The Basilica Minore del Sto Niño de Cebu has clarified that only the Basilica Minore Church and Convent, as well as the Pavilion of the Magellan's Cross, were declared National Cultural Treasures by the National Museum of the Philippines. This is contrary to reports that the original image of the Santo Niño also received the same designation. Kenneth Torres reports.
The Basilica Minore del Niño de Cebu has clarified that the Santo Niño image was not declared a national cultural treasure by the National Museum of the Philippines. In its official statement, Basilica said that only the church and convent, including the Pavilion of the Magellan's Cross, have received the designation. This is in pursuant to the Museum Resolution number 55-2020 of the National Museum of the Philippines. Under the National Cultural Heritage Act of 2009, a national cultural treasure refers to unique cultural property that possesses outstanding historical, cultural, and artistic value, which is highly significant and important to the country and nation. The declaration, which was made by the National Museum of the Philippines, was announced yesterday as part of the commemoration of the 500th year of Christianity in the Philippines. Around 700 individuals have witnessed yesterday's Cebu's celebration of the 500 years of Christianity in the country, whose main highlight was the reenactment of the first baptism. Kenneth Torres, SunStar Tonight.
To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Follow us on our YouTube channel and official social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Cherry Ann Lim. Thanks for watching SunStar Tonight. See you again tomorrow. Good night.